Ace Rogers. I'm from Iowa City, Iowa. Everybody got good, great stories about high school, and for me, high school was amazing, especially on the athletic side of it. Academic side of it, not so much, but that's how it is when you're young. You just want to play sports. My freshman year, I was actually fortunate enough to run varsity track, but I played on the freshman football team, which was fun. But at the same time, there were people that were in my class that were being looked at to be moved up to the sophomore team. That following year, it got a little bit more serious, just with how I was going to be active with the team and showing up for workouts and stuff. And went through the summer workouts and still really didn't know what position I played. I knew I played defensive back. I knew that was a must because that was just something that I liked. I mean, my favorite player is Charles Woodson, so I kind of wanted to do some of the things that he did. But I just remember a week before our first game, my sophomore year, I went up to my coach at the time, Brian Sauser, and I was just like, hey, do you have room for a quarterback? My sophomore year, playing at Waterloo West, under the lights, Friday Night Lights, high school, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it because it's something that you always remember. But I remember that first game. We had another quarterback in at the time, Luke McLaren, and he played a couple series. And Coach Sauer looked at me and was like, "Hey, you want to go win?" And I looked at him like he was joking, and he was like, "No, seriously, get in there and make some plays." So I got in. First play that I ran was like a play action pass, roll out, throw back to our receiver for a touchdown. And like I said, I never really looked back after that. After that, following series ran for like a 49-yard touchdown. Series after that, I think we might have went 3 and out, and then the series after that ran for another touchdown, 49 yards. Made some little wiggles here and there, and that's when, like I said, it all started. Right after the game, I guess there were some scouts there. We had another guy on our team, Jacob Gannon, that was actually being scouted by a couple colleges, and I got my first offer right after the game. Man, when I tell you things changed in an instant, because I didn't really know what I was going to do outside of football or what I was going to do after football ended for high school. But now I had a plan. My senior year, I really wanted to focus on becoming a better quarterback, because a lot of the papers, just in the city and when we played against other people, were just like, yeah, he's just an athlete quarterback. He just runs the ball. So I like proving people wrong. Redshirted that following season, I put myself in a good position and played in all 12 games. Started a couple games at corner and started a couple games at nickel. Got my first career interception against Tulsa, I think in our 3rd game, which was fun. It's always fun to get the ball when you're on defense. And following that season, personally, I just didn't feel like I belonged there anymore, and decided to transfer to junior college, Iowa Western. It was unbelievable, because not only did I get to go to the best JUCO in the country, I also got to play with some of my high school teammates, my best friends that I've been playing football with since I was in 6th grade. And man, when I tell you, when I got there, Coach Stroh welcomed me with open arms, and just the rest of the staff, and they really worked with me to ensure that I knew the defense and was comfortable and confident playing. And had a great time playing there with my friends and with new teammates, and finished that season 11-1, made the All-American team. It was a great year, and I remember at this point before we left for the national championship game, I think I might have had maybe 15 offers for me to go play at a couple different places. And it really came down to a couple things. I talked to Coach Douglas, because I'm still really, really tight with him. And I remember him being on the phone and telling me, look, if you don't go to Minnesota, just delete my number. And I was like, are you really serious about that? He was like, Minnesota's probably the best college that you have on there. I'm not saying best college as in just the league that they're in, because they're in the Big Ten, but I'm saying you'll get coached the best. And that was true. Coach Sawville, best defensive coordinator in the country. And you know, I'll fight for that man. He's over at Wake Forest now, and I know he's doing great things there. He's gonna have a great season there with that defense. And I mean, he's really, because my first couple years, I would say I was just still learning how to play defense, but he really molded me into becoming a defensive back, not only just playing the safety position and the nickel position, but he helped me understand entire defenses and how certain pieces work and why certain people go to certain places and where you need to fit in and why you need to fit in this way. So I learned a great deal of football knowledge from him. Fall camp was outstanding. You know, I got there. You know, when you transfer in, you got to work your way up the depth chart, and I love competition, and I thrive off of it. So I got there, and you know, I met with my coach a lot because I wanted to put myself in a good position. So I made sure I understood everything for the defense. And the first game against #2 team at the time, TCU, you know, I felt ready, and the guys I was playing alongside with, they felt ready. And we went out there, night game, start college football off. Amazing atmosphere. Played well, had 7 tackles, a couple PBUs, and yeah, in that game I actually suffered a partial torn ACL in my right knee, and you know, for me, I hadn't had a major injury, and I mean, I wouldn't consider that one a major injury either, just because it was a partial tear, and you know, I was bummed out because I just played a really good game for my first time in a Minnesota uniform. You know, I was proud to be playing in that stadium, proud to be playing for Coach Kill, proud to be playing under Coach Tracy Clays and Coach Sawville and their schemes and stuff. And I was bummed out after the game. Everybody was out there congratulating me when we went to the locker room, but we lost the game. I remember sitting in the locker room. All the guys were standing up, and Coach Sawville was talking to us about our performance and how proud he was of us and how hard we played against TCU, and just looking forward to the rest of the season. And everybody was standing, and I was sitting down because I couldn't stand up at the time because I had partially torn my ACL. And I knew I partially tore it in the first quarter of the game, but for me, like I said, I'm a competitor, and it wasn't holding me back to the point where I knew where I couldn't run. So I played the rest of that game, and you know, had fun playing it, and went in the locker room and bawled my eyes out because for me, I thought my season was over. Went to rehab, a couple weeks of rehab, and my knee actually started feeling better, and I started feeling strong again, started getting confident again with my knee, and played against Ohio. We played them at home, and you know, that was it was a thriller. Man, we were going back and forth with the scoring. One of our safeties went down, so at the time I wasn't starting, but our safety went down, so I filled in. I was just coming off my right partial ACL, and we were going back and forth in the game, and came down to a Hail Mary, and I batted the ball down, so I was ecstatic just about that. And we won that game, and the following week we played Purdue, and I was so hyped because I played nickel, and I was a starting nickel, and Coach Sawville, schematically, he drew stuff up specifically for me to guard certain people because we were going to be in a 4-2-5 package, so I was going to be moving around a lot with the defense. And that Wednesday in practice, I went up for a corner ball, defended, came down on my left knee, and I had a rotational tear in my ACL and meniscus. And you know, that was probably one of the lowest points in my life because you know, I just came off my right partial, and you know, for me, I thought that I was being punished, and I didn't know for a while because I'm a firm believer in God, and I thank God for all my talents that He's given me, and you know, I'm praising His name. And I personally, I thought that I had done some wrong, and that I was doing some wrong in my life, and that I was being quote unquote punished. And I remember laying there, and I belted out with a yell when I first tore it, and then I was just sitting there on the ground. I was thinking about why me, why did I tear my ACL? Because I knew when I came down, I knew I tore it, and I was sitting there on the ground, laying down, and just thinking. And the trainers and my teammate Eric Carter at Minnesota They helped me up, got me over to the athletic little training table, and I was just sitting there laying there. I just remember laying there and them all talking. I couldn't hear it. Like all I heard was mumbling. I couldn't hear a thing, and I was just sitting there and I opened my eyes. And I looked at him. I looked at Dom, and I was like, Dom, look, I was like, I don't know what it is, but I'm being punished. I was like, I gotta change. I was like, I gotta change my life around somehow or some way, because I'm not doing something right. And you know, that was heavy on my heart that entire year, all the way up until summer of 16. And I didn't get to play spring ball because I didn't heal. And that summer I went to an ultimate training camp. It's a Christian camp that focuses on God and using God in your sport, and just really helping athletes understand the importance of God and how God has given us talents, and just to be sure not to waste them, and not only use our athletic ability to play well that God has given us, but also use our platform to, you know, influence other people as well as bring people closer to God. And I spent the week there at that camp, and all I can say is life-changing. I came out of that camp different, and like I said, I don't look back, and I feel great. Like, I feel great about my life and where my life has been going up to this point. You know, being at Minnesota, I had that coming into that fall. You know, I felt like I was ready, but I still had like a little hitch in my knee for the 16 season. And you know, Coach Sawville saw it, and he's not the type of coach that's going to put something that's not 100% out there, because he likes to win. And he was just concerned. He was really concerned for my personal well-being. Because, you know, being in college, you play college football, like, you can tell yourself that you want to work through things, and, you know, it might hurt you in the long run. And I think that's what his biggest concern was just me hurting my body for the remainder of my life. And I thank him for that, because, like, I got a reality check at the time. And 4 days before our first game that season, he kept on talking to me throughout camp about me having a hitch in my knee. And you know, I finally went to the trainer, and I was like, hey, can we get an MRI done on my knee? You know, Coach Sawville wasn't really satisfied with where I am, and I was like, I'd like to play if I'm able to play. And so we got an MRI. Found out I had a bone chipping off my kneecap. And you know, at that moment, I knew it was a small chance that I'd be playing that season. And had surgery to remove that, and doc said I'd be back in 4 or 5 weeks. Didn't happen. The week after, still wasn't good to go, so I went and talked to the team doctor again, and just told him, like, hey, my knee's not feeling good still. I can run really fast, like now. I can cut, but I can't slow down. Like, it's tough to slow down. So right after I talked to the team doctor, I went and talked to Coach Tracy Clays, and went and talked to him about wanting to pursue a medical red shirt, because it was, you know, about to be halfway in the season. And, you know, it's understandable, because I'm a senior. I don't want my senior year to be 4 or 5 games. It got approved, and I was talking to academics at that point, because I already graduated, so I'd have to get into grad school and things like that. And talked to him at the point, and, you know, from my understanding, I was supposed to be at Minnesota if my 6th year got approved. But you know, reached out to him when time came, and you know, it's different, because, you know, coaches come in, they want to build the program how they make it, and I guess I wasn't part of that. You know, it hurt, because I got a lot of people up there that I love, a lot of people that, like, teammates that are my brothers now, and you know, it hurt. I was frantically trying to figure out what school I can get into before like a semester started, and because there's like a 2-week grace period if you can get into school. So I was trying to call schools and ask them about their grace period and if they'd be willing to take in a transfer. And a lot of people had concerns with my ACL recovery and all that, which is very understandable. But I assured people that, hey, don't worry, I'm good. I can run, I can play. But people need something. They need to see things to believe it. Like a lot of people don't have faith, and I just feel like a lot of coaches that I was talking to at the time, they didn't have faith in what I was saying. So I was training and all that stuff, and I finally put together like a little cut up of me doing drill work, because I know people want to see me cut, break, turn, and all that stuff. So put together a cut up, made a cut up, sent it out. Then I got schools looking at me, and I got schools calling me, and I got to a point where I was like, all right, well, I need to start making a decision soon because I want to be in summer ball. And talking to Coach Cashmore, who was at Iowa Western, who coached me there when I was an All-American at Iowa Western, talked to him quite a bit, and he helped reach out to some of the people that he knew. And so went and talked to Coach Marshall, talked with Coach Marshall for about 20 minutes, told him about the goals that I had as an individual and what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And he relayed the message back to Coach Stugart. Word got to Inama about a safety transfer, and word got from Inama to Coach Cashmore again. And Coach Cashmore called me, and he was just like, "Hey, that's a great group of coaches there." He was like, "Cause Coach Cashmore knows me, and he knows the type of coaches that I like, and coaches that I bond well with, and I'm really big on like relationships and stuff." And he was like, "Just do me a favor, don't make a decision until you take a visit to Lindenwood." And I was like, "All right, well, I trust you, so I'm gonna take a visit." So I took a visit here. There were no other student athletes here, no football players that I was on my visit with. It was just me and the coaches, and just me getting a feel for the coaches. And I'm 23, so I'm a man, and I'm straightforward. I'm honest with everybody I speak to, and I was honest with Coach Stugart when I first met him. And he was just like, "Don't give me a runaround, because Coach Marshall told me that you might have some interest coming here." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Got some other schools after me, but I talked to Coach Cashmore, and Coach Cashmore has spoken highly of you guys, and a lot of things that you do here are something that I really like." And came here on my visit. It was an amazing one. Just got to sit down really and talk with Coach Stugart and Coach Inama and Coach Marshall a lot, and just went through some defensive things schematically, and I liked it. I write on my mirror, and I got my goals on my mirror. And my goal here at Lindenwood is just to be a contributor to the team, like I told the guys when I was here in the summer. Like, I don't plan to come in here and try to change anything or make anybody different. I plan to come in and be a team guy, because that's the type of person I am. But my goals personally are to win with this team, win in the MIAA, win a conference championship here, and we're more than capable of it. Just with me seeing the guys that we do have, we have a lot of talent, and a lot of people that work hard, and with some good discipline, we're going to be good. For me, it's to be an All-American here, and there's nothing short of that. I control that, and it's something that I will achieve. Post Lindenwood, everybody wants to play in the NFL. I feel like I have a fair shot. Connor Harris is on the Jets right now. Played here last year. He got his shot. He's still there. Pierre Desir, he's in the NFL. Lindenwood they produce guys. If you want to play football, you will be found. And Coach Stugart has, he has his own connections, and like I said, you get found, and there's going to be scouts. I'm not too worried about that. I'm not too worried about life after Lindenwood. I just want to take care of what's here at Lindenwood. But yeah, like, that's another goal, to be in the NFL. I mean, it's been a lifelong goal and dream, and I feel like I can accomplish it just with the people that are here, and the people that I will play alongside with will make it a lot easier, just because I know the type of guys that they are. The support that I've received, like, through my insane journey of college football. Not only from my family and friends, but man, just like support from God. My God family, they're firm Christian believers, and man, it took a while for me to understand the power that God has in our life and stuff. And I mean, they've been talking about it since I was young, and you know, you actually get to a point one day in your life, and you know, I actually started listening and understanding, and not just hearing. And my God family, they've always kept me close to God, and always, you know, ensured that my life wouldn't be too difficult. But I really want to thank them because they've been through everything with me. My immediate family has been through everything with me, but I've lived with my God family since I left high school, and man, when I tell you my stress levels, you wouldn't believe theirs. Just from me leaving Iowa State to going to a junior college, which they thought was a terrible idea at the time. But you know, like I told them when I left Iowa State, everything was gonna work out, and it worked out. But I appreciate them just sticking with me, and appreciate my mother. My mother is she's a hardworking woman. She's been taking care of kids basically her entire life. I'm the youngest of my family, and on top of that, I got 12 nieces and nephews, and my mom takes care of most of them as well. So she's a phenomenal person. I'm thankful for her. I've seen her do real hard work. I consider football hard work, but parenting is hard work, and for her to parent my 4 sisters and me and a bunch of other nieces and nephews that I have, that's hard work. She's been a parent forever. But I thank her, and I just want to thank Coach Stu, really, just because he's given me the opportunity to, you know, showcase my ability yet again. And you know, I don't feel like there's a greater gift on earth than playing football from God.